Hey guys, how you doing on this Wednesday morning? What do we know about what's going on there in Moscow, Idaho? Well, we know that because of the prosecution, they have given us a whole bunch of wonderful rabbit holes to go down. From drug connections to the house, to cartel hits, to uh, DoorDash driver, to private driver. But what do we really know what's going on in this case? With Brian Koberger and everything else. Well, in my opinion, this entire timeline is bogus. Dylan's state of events is bogus. And let's see here. There was a lot of activity going on around the house between 312 and 316, but none of that really matters because suspect vehicle 1 wasn't even on the scene yet. They control the timeline. They control the narrative. And they just throw us little breadcrumbs and expect us to get to the bottom of everything. In which, for the last, say, almost 18 months, we've been doing that quite successfully. From the PCA that's full of holes, and it is full of holes. And Taylor's even stated it's full of holes. To, let's see here. Emma Bailey and Demetrius Robinson. How can two people that was picked up on murder charges, charged with murder over the death of that a young frat guy, Caleb, I believe his name was, and then just let out the next day? Like they legit had their charges dropped. And I hear a lot of talk about informants. Could Emma Bailey and Demetrius be informants? Because Emma Bailey, she was connected to the house. Like she was caught on body cam walking out of the house and then acted like she didn't know nobody there. Then if you don't know nobody there, Miss Bailey, why were you there? I say you have a bunch of cops harassing those 4 students, actually all the students, on a daily freaking basis for noise complaints. And then one of the officers, I believe his name is Rosendahl, took a picture of Kaylee's driver's license. That's kind of creepy. And before Kaylee came out, he was standing there looking at that officer and doing this number. Like, what the heck is that? And then you had Hunter Johnson, who came out with Kaylee. He actually went in to get Kaylee. He came out with Kaylee, and he sat there on the couch with some plastic zip ties around his wrists. I don't know, maybe that's a new fashion statement, or maybe that's just some new kind of kink he was into with Kaylee. Who knows? And we have the grub truck footage, which has been gone over and gone over and gone over and gone over. And then we have the footage of Jack S., Maddie, and Kaylee walking. And I've heard, quite a few different interpretations of what Jack said to Kaylee. You know, some people have said, he's saying, "We're going to get you, Maddie," or "They're going to get you, Maddie." And then I've heard interpretations, "Oh, don't worry, Maddie, we're going to get you something, we're going to get you some grub." So, unless I hear the actual full, clear audio, I don't really know what was said. I mean, it could have been, "They're going to get you, Maddie." And then it also could have been, "Oh, we're going to get you some grub, Maddie." So, I don't know what was said. If I was to actually hear the full audio on that, then I would be able to tell you guys what was actually said. So all we've heard is clips. So you know, a lot of us hear, "Oh, they're going to get you, Maddie," and then some more here, "Oh, we're going to get you some grub, Maddie." And guys, let me know down in the comment section what you guys think it is. Is it, "We're going to get you some grub, Maddie," or "They're going to get you, Maddie"? And then the infamous, "Maddie, what did you tell Jack? Or what did you tell Adam?" "Oh, I told Adam everything." Well, what did she tell Adam? We don't know what she told Adam. And I was pondering this last night, because this brain is like racked with images of Idaho 4. I see the stuff in my sleep, in my sleep at night. Let's see. We have the drug connections to the house, which I already touched on, which is Emma, Bailey, and Demetrius. You have 4 beautiful, innocent souls that was murdered at, they say between 4 a.m. and 4:25 a.m. I'm saying, and I'm believing it's a lot sooner than that. TikTok activity is not proof of life. A DoorDash delivery is not proof of life. Almost 10 frantic phone calls to a ex-boyfriend is not proof of life. And if it's believed what we hear is true coming from Steve G, there was one hell of a battle going on the second floor. How could Dylan sleep through it? If there's one hell of a battle going on the second floor, that would be loud. So I don't know how Dylan could sleep through that. And we get the 3 openings of the door by Dylan that night. First time she opens the door, and it's stated, she yells, "Shut the F up, trying to sleep." Just like I saw in the comment earlier, that would have alerted the killer to her, and the killer would have shut her up. The same way Maddie, Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan were taken out of this world. The killer would have stabbed Dylan to death. And then the second time Miss Mortensen opens her door, she hears crying coming from Xana's room, and a man stating, "It's okay, I'm going to help you." And then she shuts the door, goes, lays back down, and then miraculously, a third time, she opens the door and sees the killer walking towards the back door. And she gives a statement of the description of the killer, which is so generic. 5'10" or taller, bushy eyebrows, clad in black, athletically built, not muscular. That is the most generic description you could ever give to a police officer. It just makes me wonder if she actually saw anything at all, or if she was actually home that night. Now, hear me out about this, guys. In my opinion, she wasn't even home that night because everybody that night had a timeline. You had Maddie and Kaylee at the corner club until 1:30. Then they walked down to the grub truck. You have Bethany stating she saw Xana and Ethan at Sigma Chi until from 9 p.m. to 1:45 a.m. And then you have Bethany stating that her and Dylan went back to the house around 1. But, guys, Dylan didn't have a timeline that night. Her whereabouts could not be confirmed the entire night. So, how do we even know she was actually in the house that night? And her little uh, recollection account the next day with Brett Payne, he could have been coaching her what to say. He really could have. And why is it we have the 8-hour gap? Okay, the 8-hour time gap till 911 is called. You had the entire freaking town out there about 8:30 in the morning. The entire town knew about the murders between 8:30 in the morning and 10. You had Snapchat blowing up about the murders between 8:30 and 10. Why wasn't the cops called sooner? And yes, I understand there's a credo that the frats take and the sororities take. Well, if your 4 roommates are murdered, I'm sorry to say this, guys, but credos be damned. Frats be damned, and sororities be damned. I'm going to be calling 911 because there's 4 dead roommates in my house. And I don't understand, in my opinion, 8 hours later, it's got to smell. The blood has to smell. The smell of dead bodies in the house. That would be strong enough to wake somebody straight up. Like, okay, what's that smell? Why do I smell this? What is that smell? I've never smelled this smell before. Maybe I need to investigate. Oh crap, my roommates are dead. Here, let me call 911. Instead, Miss Mortensen and Miss Funk called a bunch of friends over. The spokesman for their sorority, the spokesperson for Sigma Chi, Ethan's sorority, the spokesperson for Alpha Phi. I would really, 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 really love to hear that 911 call to see exactly what was said to the 911 dispatcher. Because, I mean, we've heard reports that it was an unconscious person call. We've heard reports about that. You have a bunch of people using one of the surviving roommates' phones. Don't know which one it was, whether it be Dylan or Bethany. I don't know why they couldn't get on the phone and talk to the 911 dispatcher too. But yet you had a group of people passing the phone around in a circle. Gee, I would have loved being that 911 dispatcher trying to understand what a group of people is saying, passing the phone around on the phone with me. Yeah, I was asked the other day when I thought the trial might start in a comment. I'm thinking either 2025. I mean, heck, it could be longer 2025, 2026, 2027. I mean, it could be one of those three. I mean, Brian has been sitting in jail for almost 2 years. It'll be 2 years this coming November. And why don't the prosecution want the defense reaching out to Brian's family? Anybody that gave their DNA, the prosecution doesn't want the defense reaching out to or getting in contact with anybody in Brian's family that gave DNA sample. In my opinion, guys, this is my opinion. That is crooked as hell from Mr. Crackhead Bill Thompson. Crackhead Santa Bill Thompson. The same man who stood up there last week threw a hissy fit like a petulant child and a tantrum almost because of a jury survey. The same type of jury survey that goes out all across America, probably with the same questions. But yet, he gets all butthurt because Ann Taylor went ahead and did it without getting his permission first. So you have Ann Taylor. Basically, I viewed that court hearing as Ann Taylor's lynching because she was getting attacked by the judge and the prosecutor. So until this thing actually goes to trial, we're all going to be going down rabbit holes. And for all my subscribers, I'm going to be I'm going to be going down rabbit holes with you until this finally goes to trial. But like always, guys, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Hit that bell notification for any new uploads, and let me know down in the comments what you think about my theories on these topics I just laid out. You guys have a good night. Peace.